Hey, welcome back to my channel. Let's fall in love with life. One situation many women go through is when you are dating a guy and he's so into you. He's chasing you. He writes and he wants to meet, and then poof, he disappears. He ghosts you. He withdraws. He's not responding to your text messages. And maybe sometimes that makes you go completely nuts, to go crazy on the text messaging and like, brrr. Okay, I've been there too. That makes the situation worse. So suddenly you go from a situation you like super excited to scared and worried, and then you crash everything. You sabotage. And when a guy stops texting or contacting you, a lot of people will say, he's just not that into you. He doesn't want you. And that could be true, but it could also be that he is actually scared. He is worried. He's not sure about what he thinks. People are not rational. We are irrational because we are run by feelings, and feelings change. One day we could be super in love with someone and excited. Next day we can get an ick and we go, "Ooh, who is that person?" Or we fall in love with our best friend, or childhood traumas come into play, memories from our past, patterns from our past suddenly affects our now and our future. I want to talk about the attachment theory, things that we bring with us from when we were under 2 years old, how our parents treated us when we were super young will affect how we are in relationships now and in the future. But there are ways to get around that and to get happy relationships anyway. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about how. But first of all, there are 4 different types of attachment styles: the secure, the avoidant, the ambivalent, and the disorganized. The first one is the secure attachment style, and lucky you if you have that. Your parents, they saw you when you were a child. When you reached out to them, they came and gave their love and they listened to you. And if you have the secure attachment style, you will be much more likely to have a happy relationship. You have self-esteem, you trust love, you trust people, you have good relationships with friends, you open up, and you believe in love. 56% of the populations have a secure attachment style, but the other ones, me included, have an insecure attachment style that actually puts a lot of drama into our relationships here and now. If your parents got really annoyed with you, if you came there and said, "I'm crying, I need you," then you might get an avoidant attachment style. And that leads to you avoiding relationships because you think that that will hurt. You learn from early age that if you come to someone, ask for their love, ask for someone to see you and hear you, you will be pushed away. You learned that from your parents' behavior towards you. So you don't seek relationships. If you have this style, you will go on a date, but then you don't go on another date. Or you have sexual relationships, especially with married people or someone on a holiday, casual, simple. You don't invest your emotions. You don't get very close relationships back, but you don't get hurt. So if you have that attachment style, you might not go into relationships at all because you're scared. If you are scared, you will not say, "Oh, yeah, I want to date you." And if you are dating someone who has this attachment style, that person might push you away just because they like you. They might say, "I don't want you in my life. I don't dare." They might ghost you. They might avoid you because they are afraid. They don't dare to open up. They don't dare to get close because that might hurt. And apparently 25% of the population has this style, and might be those people who suddenly disappears, because if you get close, if they get closer to a relationship, that is freaking them out, and they just disappear, and we go, what is going on? And we go, he's not into me, but he might be. He's just afraid. The next attachment style is the ambivalent. And that might be because the parents were a bit back and forth. Like, I had parents who were like, one was an alcoholic and the other one was chronically ill in a disease. And one moment they were all about love, and one moment they were like, oh, I don't want you here. And it was up and down and back and forth. And that confuses a child. A child wants love, because when a child gets love, they know they're going to survive. So that is something biologically in our bodies and minds. We need to be loved as kids, because love means that someone will take care of us. And if our parents are acting like retards, back and forth and up and down, that is confusing. And that turns that child into an ambivalent grown up. So in adult relationship, these people, me included, will be a little bit back and forth. At one point, super clingy. Oh my God, I want to meet you now. Let's meet again. And the next moment, super cold, because these people are so scared of abandonment. They have been abandoned. They had the love, 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 and the pushing away, and they know that will hurt. And they are driven by feelings. The fourth style is the disorganized one. It's not many people, 8% of the population, who has this. And it might include you being physically or mentally abused as a child. It's children who has gone through tough times when they were young. And as adults, they have it really difficult to go into relationships, turn to toxic relationships. They turn to unhealthy ones. They push people away. They get clingy. They want and they don't. They are up and down. And it's hard. I understand this. It all comes from fear. So many of us are so scared. We are terrified of finding love, because love can hurt. It makes us vulnerable. Love can be amazing, but it could also hurt. It could feel fantastic, but it could also break our hearts. So a lot of people are scared, especially if they had a rough childhood. So how do you deal with these things? First of all, figure out what kind of style you have. What kind of childhood did you have? Were you super happy? Did you have loving parents? Or did you have parents who had their own issues and were not really mature enough to take care of a child in the right way? What is your story? And how did that affect you? How is that affecting you at this point in life when you are an adult? How do you want it to affect you? When you are aware of where you are, who you are, what you are much more likely to be able to change, because nothing is set in stone. You got these attachment styles and you got them from young age, so they are built in you, but nothing is forever. You're going to live a long life. And in that long life, the only life that you have, you want to be happy. So you need to deal with the issues that you have according to your attachment style. It is possible. I have for sure pushed so many men away, acting like a lunatic. But I have learned to calm down, to not act on impulses, to not lash out, to not be passive aggressive, to not shut them out just because I am scared of getting hurt. I have learned, and so can you. It's not easy, but you can do it. So get to know yourself. Control your impulsive behavior. If you are avoidant and you go on one date and you find that interesting, And then you freak out and you don't want to go to another date, even if that is what you want. That happens to you. Learn to control yourself. Be mature, be grown up. The inner child in you will be there, but make that inner child's voice quieter, smaller, and be the grown up who says, that happened in the past. The person you're dating at this moment is not your parents. Person you're dating now might be the person who heals you, who gives you the fantastic relationship that makes you feel secure. That is the end goal. So focus on where you're going. Focus on what you deserve. Focus on what kind of relationship you are actually looking for and how that will make you feel. And you look at whatever you wish for, dream about, and that will raise your energy and make you resilient when those irrational behaviors are knocking on your door. One method is to do the complete opposite of what you want. If you are freaking out about someone ghosting you and you want to send that person an angry message telling them to off, do the complete opposite. Distract yourself, call a friend, go out for a walk, go on a boxing class, do something else, but do not react. Do the opposite of reacting like a crazy person, because you are sabotaging your relationships and you're sabotaging your future, your happiness. Why do you want that? And now I'm sort of talking to you as if you have a problem with attachment styles, because a lot of people have, and I have as well, so I relate to that. But the person you are dating who is withdrawing might be into you. That person might actually be super in love with you, and just because they are staying away, doing their best to avoid you and avoid love, because love can hurt. So love can hurt, but love can also be super amazing, and we can all get it if we do our homework, work on ourselves, develop ourselves to bring love in. It's not going to be easy, but you got this. And welcome back to my channel if you want more life advice about how to become happy and reach your dreams. And if you have something that you want to share with other people, write in the comment field. And until next time, go out there, challenge yourself, bring in the love.